Hey guys, it's Clay, CPAP My Way, CPAPMyWay.com. Today I am here to talk to you about my top 4 picks in 2025 for the minimal contact full face category. As always, if you enjoy this info, we really appreciate the thumbs up. Comment with any experience, questions I might can answer. I'd do my best to get back to those, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's start off with just what is a minimal contact full face. The way I define that is a mask that allows you to breathe through your mouth or your nose, but does not seal over the bridge of the nose. So minimal contact, but allows you to breathe through your mouth and nose. This fits a lot of people, right? There's some it doesn't fit, but it fits quite a few, especially those that are heavy mouth breathers, but can't stand something touching the bridge of their nose. Maybe they've had some abrasion from older masks, or somebody that just can't get past the leaks in the corner of the eyes. Maybe even somebody that just can't stand the claustrophobic feeling of a full face mask. In those scenarios, these are all really good options, and something you should probably consider. So I picked 4 of them. These are some latest, fresh out from on the market, and some of them are just tried and true. So I'm going to run through each of them individually, their pros and cons. At the end, I'll try them on so you can get an idea of what it looks like on me, what they sound like on the average CPAP pressure. And I'll break it all down for you. That way you can understand maybe whether it's a good fit for you or not. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. All right, so I want to start off with the Rio 2. This is a new mask from React Health 3B. It's the first minimal contact full face that they have designed, and it looks pretty darn similar to many of the others that are on the market. You'll notice it's got the front tube connection here. It swivels, right, which is a really nice feature. Swivels at the bottom as well, which gives you a lot of freedom of movement. The one thing about it that you'll really notice right off the bat if you're getting it out of a bag or trying it on is how light it is. The frame and headgear are really super lightweight. You're not going to notice much pull on your face at all, just from the weight of the mask, that is. Very standard 4-point headgear for this. It has the top adjustment on the head, so if you have a smaller head, you can tighten it. The headgear itself on this is extremely versatile, especially for those that have maybe a larger head and have struggled to find masks that will fit. This one has a lot of adjustment in it. So if you've got a big head or a big neck, you're going to be able to get this mask on and it should fit you pretty well. It's available in the small, medium, and large, and the cushions all fit the same frame. They just snap right in and out really simply. So it will come, if you order it that way, as a fit pack with all sizes included. That way you can determine which one fits you best, and you don't have to go back and forth from the supplier to find the right size. Some other really good features about it are the diffused exhalation ports there. So when I try it on, you'll probably notice, but it diffuses the exhalation in all different angles. And so what that does is it doesn't push the air right at a bed partner or up into the eyes. It's quiet and it's diffused in a lot of different directions, so you don't feel any of the exhalation going in one direction. Makes it quiet and easy to sleep next to. And it's also really affordable. So not only is it a good design with broad fitting headgear and a good mask fit pack, it's affordable. So you're going to be able to find it everywhere, and if you're paying out of pocket, it's definitely one you should consider. A couple of the downsides are, if you have a small head, it takes a lot of adjustment to get it on, right? Because this headgear is a little bit oversized, so you're going to have to pull it pretty tight or pull the straps pretty far back, and they're going to tighten up. That may be a good or a bad thing for you, but it's something to consider. And it doesn't have some of the real premium features like a fancy breathable headgear or removable connection on the front. But it's a good functioning mask at a good price. It's extremely lightweight, quiet, and very user-friendly. All right, next up is the DreamWear Full Face. Chances are, if you've been on CPAP for very long, you probably have seen this particular mask. It's made by Philips Respironics and was the first minimal contact to have this top of the head tube connection here. That makes it pretty unique, but it has been a really good mask for a long time now, and we continue to recommend it to customers for quite a few reasons. The first thing I've already pointed out, it's got that top of the head tube connection. That's like a tongue twister. And it swivels really generously, so moving back and forth and even sleeping face down with this mask is potentially possible. And that's because it also has the exhalation ports on top, right? So if you've completely covered off the exhalation on the front, it will ventilate up top. The other thing about it is that it has the unique thing that it will fit nasal pillows or nasal cradle. So one thing you can do with this particular frame is with the appropriate headgear, you can attach the nasal cradle or even the nasal pillows to this exact same frame and switch between all of them. It gives you an opportunity to try multiple things all with one connection point. Magnetic clips on the front make taking it on and off really easily. The other thing I'll point out is this is a medium frame. It has a large and a small frame. So if you've got a small or larger head, this is a good option for you because you can actually get a frame specifically, you know, for your head size, which gives fitting the mask, it makes fitting the mask a lot easier for sure. A variety of size, small, medium, large, and I think a medium wide, so very, very good chance that you're gonna find a cushion that fits you well. To change out the cushion, it's real simple. You just have to take your magnets loose there, obviously, and then the frame just pulls loose from the cushion itself there. This happens to be a large cushion. I think most people on this are small or medium wide maybe. Not a ton of larges, but it does have that availability. Put it right back on there. So that makes maintenance really easy. As far as the downsides of the mask, I think they're kind of obvious. With the top of the tube, top of the head tube connection, you've got these tubes that run along the side, which allow the air to come down and obviously into your mouth or nose there. That sometimes can be a little bulky on the cheek. So if you're sleeping on the side and you really have, you know, an issue with things touching you, the silicone and just the fact that the air's rolling through there, it can make a little bit of noise and some people get a little irritated by that. And it's not the best for high pressures, you know. I don't know that any of these masks are, but specifically this one with the real flat under the nose design there. Anything at the higher pressure levels, you're probably gonna have to go traditional full face, but this one may be on the low end of minimal contacts as far as sealing on higher pressures. And the final thing I'll point out as a bit of a downside is it's got a pretty darn projected exhalation there. I'll try to show you when I try the mask on, but if you've got a bed partner that's sensitive or sleeps close, it sometimes can, you know, go out to 10 inches or so and really still be able to feel that exhalation. All right, next up is a fairly recent addition from Fisher & Paykel. This is the Evora Full Face. As you can see, it's also a really nice minimal style, very compact, and really, really easy to use. As always, Fisher & Paykel makes things really, really nice. So the headgear is really high end, the connections are all really nice, and it's a well done mask, that's for sure. Really nice compact design there. The tube's coming off the bottom of the front of the frame here, so it takes away some of that bulk where, you know, the connection point can be there. It's got a very unique attachment for the headgear. The headgear can literally just peel off. Obviously, those connections right there. So you've got your frame and the headgear. That's a really unique feature that makes maintenance. And putting the headgear back on after maintenance is really nice. All you got to do is just line it up on the front there and just pop the little knobs back into place. And then, of course, it's just got the standard little clips on the front. To take those off, you just kind of push down and they just pop loose, which I know it's not a magnet. Fisher & Paykel has stayed away from those magnets. Connections there are really, really simple. So even though it's not a magnet, it's pretty darn simple. It is available in a small, medium, and large. Cushion pops out of the same frame. So this one also can be sold as a fit pack, which is a really nice feature. You don't have to guess what size you are. Get all 3 sizes. And you can try them all. And like I said about the headgear, Fisher & Paykel always makes really nice headgear. It's got a really breathable design there, but it is really a very high-end. You can just feel it's nice headgear, really good pressed Velcro. Headgear is going to last a long time. Frame's probably going to last darn near forever. And even the cushions go a long way on these masks. So really durable and a great long-term option for sure. A couple of downsides with it. I will say that the design is good when it works. If it doesn't, it just doesn't. And it's pretty obvious, right? If you can't get it to seal, it's just not going to work. Getting the right size is important. That's why I recommend, if you're going to try this mask, get it as a fit pack so you can try multiple sizes. I always recommend sizing down if you're having some leaks on these particular masks, and especially on this one. I typically see people getting a lot of leaks around the nose, but you know, we've had it all, honestly. Sizing down usually does a good job, unless you've got it like in the creases of your mouth, and then you may want to size up a little bit. The other thing I'll point out is there's no swivel on the front of the mask. So I know they got the swivel down here, and you know, that's fine. But when you've got the extra swivel up here, I feel like just gives you a lot more freedom of movement, especially if you get this tube kind of pinched, you know what I mean? And you know, under the covers or something, it will restrict a little bit of your movement. And the last thing is that it has it does have a pretty directed exhalation. The exhalation ports are on both sides at the bottom here, And it is pretty diffused, but similar to the DreamWear, if you're sleeping really close to somebody, you know, with an 8 to 10 inches, you're probably going to feel a good bit of that draft, and you may feel it a little bit further out. But overall, it's a really nice mask, quality built. And when I try it on, you'll see how it looks on my face. It does a pretty good job of sealing on me. All right, last up is the AirFit F40 by ResMed. This one is the latest mask from ResMed and the latest minimal full face to be launched on the market. It has gone over with really, really good reviews, and so far we like it quite a bit. You'll also notice this one's pretty compact. It does have the tube connection on the front there, but the cushion itself and frame are so compact that it really is pretty far back, especially if you compare it to the old F30 that they had. It is much smaller than that. It also has a wide sizing range, so you'll probably be able to find a size that works for you, but it doesn't come as a fit pack. It has the magnetic hookups on the headgear here, which make taking it on and off really, really easy. To show you again that tube connection, I really like that. It allows you to get up and use the bathroom in the middle of the night. You can breathe nice and easy through the opening in the front, come back, plug right back up without having to refit your mask in the middle of the night. That's a big pro. It's all material, even along the sides there. So the only thing that's going to be touching your face is material. And the way this one's designed, it really kicks it out wide so it doesn't get into that corner of the eye that some of these style masks do. Also, one thing you have to point out on this mask is the exhalation port. It's a little ring inside there. This one's probably the quietest of all four and the least direct exhalation. So you're not going to feel any exhalation, and you're really not going to hear much exhalation on this mask. It's just really, really well diffused. Just a couple of things I'll point out as a downside to the mask. Number one, it's not available as a fit pack right now. I don't know why ResMed does this. Everybody else does fit packs. ResMed, please provide these masks as a fit pack. It's best for everybody. Us, consumers, and I think even you. The other thing I'll point out is there's no adjustment on the top of the headgear. The design of this mask probably makes it to where that's not as big of a deal, but if you've got a really small head, a lot of times being able to adjust that to lift this portion away from your ears is you know, critical for you. So if you've got a real small head, it may be something to consider. And the last thing I'll tell you is quite frankly, it's the latest and greatest from ResMed, so it definitely costs more than the others and may not have quite as open availability through the insurance market. But you're going to get what you pay for. It really is a quality mask, and a lot of people are liking it. So those are the overall features of them. Let's jump in and we'll hook them up and see what you think about running them here. All right, let's try them on in reverse order here. So as with all these masks, I really do recommend you take both sides of the headgear loose if you can. It just makes pulling it over the head a lot easier. And if you have the ability to pull the tube connection away so that you can hook that up separately, I feel like that helps as well, so you don't have as much dangling around. But if you'll grab the back of the headgear and the front of the mask, you're going to fit the cushion under your nose and over your mouth. That's important. A lot of people want to drag it over their nose. That's wrong. It's got to go under the nose, over the mouth, one at a time, clipping in. Okay. Tighten against the nose, tighten against the mouth. Okay, perfect. Then you can hook up your tube connector here and the tube to the front. There's no exhalation at all. Really quiet. So that was at a setting of 10. I couldn't feel any exhalation out front at all, like right up against it, no exhalation, and you can't hear it either. So really quiet, well diffused, and it fit really comfortably. So overall, a really, really nice mask. All right, next up, we're gonna fire up this Evora. I went ahead and connected it to the tube. That is where I will point out again that downside, that it doesn't have the ability to connect and disconnect at the mask here. But again, you will wanna take both of the bottom straps loose on the headgear. This one's got a much firmer frame, so it is kind of nice and rigid, stays in place really well. But again, under the nose, headgear over, snap it in one at a time. You can feel the headgear out there, the exhalation from right there. And it goes away, you know, what's that, 8, 10 inches. I'm going to take it off the same way. As you can tell with that one, and I should have told you the first one was a medium. They like to hide the sizes on these F40 behind the connector there, but it's a medium that I tried on with the F40. And this one is a small medium on the Evora. Fit me really, really well. And as you heard, it's really, really quiet. And the exhalation, you know, I did feel it maybe 8 to 10 inches out, but after that I could feel nothing at all. And it's really quiet, so it's not like it makes any noise. You just feel a little bit of draft, maybe 8 to 10 inches out. All right, next up here is the DreamWear. I'm gonna connect that here. It does have a little connector that clips in and out of the top here, which does make fitting it a little bit easier. And then you can take the front clips loose. This one fits a little bit differently because there's not, you know, you gotta kind of keep the frame out there a little bit, otherwise it can kind of fold up on you. So if you keep it up like that, fit it under the nose, over the mouth, and then pull the strap over. Next thing you do is kind of pull your frame back a little bit, okay? And then one at a time, clip these in and tighten it up. Okay, and then we can pop it on the top here. About there. Swivels. Get it out of your face. That one also has a really nice fit. Obviously you see it on me there, real quiet. I could feel the exhalation maybe 6 inches out, 7 inches, and then after that it really faded almost to nothing. And again, I'm running them all on a pressure setting of 10. So the DreamWear Full is very unique in comparison to the other three here, and that it has that top of the head tube connection. I'll also point out while I've got it here is if you get this mask, be sure to remember your connector can sometimes be stuck in the end of the tube. People do that all the time. They forget they can't connect to a new mask until they get that old connector out of there. But overall, I like this mask a lot. We've recommended it to a ton of people over the years and had a lot of great feedback. This happens to be a small that I tried on here today. All right, last one up is the Rio 2 full face. That one has the little stretch tube connector as well. There is no removable elbow there, but it does swivel. So when you're trying this one on, you'll have it connected. You can take your bottom straps loose. Nice rigid frame. You do have to kind of hold the frame because the swivel's so nice it just wants to swivel away from you. So kind of hold the frame in place, grab your headgear, under the nose, over the mouth, pull it around and snap it in one at a time. Tighten it against the nose. Make sure it's over your ears. If you need to, you can adjust the top to bring this up, and then tighten it against the mouth. Okay? Fire it up. Another solid mask. That swivel is so freely moving. It is nice. It definitely moves back and forth really, really nicely. I kind of tried to show you where I could feel the exhalation. You could feel almost nothing, even if you cupped around the that little port there. This is another great mask. This was really affordably priced. It seals well. Really, really good mask and a great option for people out there. All right, so I hope you found that information helpful. If you did, please hit me with a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Comment with any questions, especially if you've got experience. People love that. And subscribe if you want more content like that. I've got links to all of this in the description. If you want to rewatch any of this, it'll be on that page. Also have the detail videos on that page as well so that you can watch the real details of each individual mask on its own if you really want to dive in a little bit deeper. So once again, thank you for watching.